races of these entities. Let's start off by looking at potential verses hinting at what UFOs are and what aliens are. First, and most importantly, we must look at the book of Ezekiel, since he has the most vivid description of a potential UFO. Their legs were straight. Their feet were like those of a calf and gleamed like burnished bronze. Under their wings on their four sides they had human hands. All four of them had faces and the wings of one touched the wings of another. Each one went straight ahead. They did not turn as they moved. Their faces looked like this. Each of the four had the face of a human being, and on the right side each had the face of a lion, and on the left the face of an ox. Each also had the face of an eagle. Such were their faces. They each had two wings spreading out upward, each wing touching that of the creature on either side, and each had two other wings covering its body. Each one went straight ahead. Wherever the spirit would go, they would go, without turning as they went. The appearance of the living creatures was like burning coals of fire, or like torches. Fire moved back and forth among the creatures. It was bright, and lightning flashed out of it. The creatures sped back and forth like flashes of lightning. We now know the creatures that Ezekiel was seeing are known as the cherubim angels. The question is, what would we think these angels are today if they came to us is an immense cloud with flashing lightning surrounded by brilliant light, with the center of the fire looking like glowing metal as Ezekiel described this mysterious craft? We would most likely think we encountered something otherworldly, which wouldn't completely be false. That takes me into the next biblical verse that describes something even more compelling. 2 Kings 2 verse 11 says, "As they were walking along and talking together, suddenly a chariot of fire and horses of fire appeared and separated the two of them, and Elijah went up to heaven in a whirlwind." This sounds like a very interesting encounter. Seeing Elijah being taken up into a whirlwind sounds very similar to what people currently call an abduction. But this can all be explained very easily. Just like we saw in Ezekiel's description of these beings actually being angels, that is also what the prophet Elijah encountered. So basically we're told that so-called aliens are angels. It is very important to understand that it's not the other way around, because the Bible doesn't directly speak about outer space aliens, but it does speak about mysterious UFOs that the prophets encountered. This is why I believe any being throughout history that called themselves an alien from a different planet was actually just a fallen angel. People always ask, why would an angel need an aircraft? And you all on before I explain why angels would use an aircraft is how some of the angels are physical beings. Not all of them are physical beings, but for the ones that are, in many ways they share similarities with humans, such as needing to eat food. 2 angels ate food with Lot and his family in the Bible before destroying the 2 ancient cities, Sodom and Gomorrah. Now to explain why an angel would need an aircraft, let's look at God's chariots of fire more so as a spiritual craft that can travel interdimensionally. Even the Bible tells us this is exactly what the chariot of fire did when it took Elijah. It says that when Elijah was taken up into a whirlwind, the chariot of fire to humans. Perhaps this is why when people see UFOs, they can just instantly disappear. Since they're interdimensional, not interstellar. This just means they are not from space, but instead from a different dimension. The only difference now, though, is that when our ancestors seen them, they immediately knew they were angels, but now we think they're aliens. This is all by design, by the more deceptive powers. Fallen angels were also known as the gods of old. It all started with the rebellion of Lucifer in heaven. Lucifer and his angels wanted to be worshipped as gods, so they were casted out of heaven and were sent to earth. When they came here, however, they lived out their plan as being worshipped as gods amongst humans. The fallen angels seemed to change up their identity to deceive every generation. Let's take a look at some of the earliest signs of these fallen angels being worshipped. Ancient Egypt is one of the most impacted cultures regarding idolatry. We can see the worship of over 2,000, most likely because when those who were abducted by these beings called out for the name of Jesus, the Greys would get scared, and the abduction would stop completely. The spiritual component to these beings is how they have been reported to be able to completely paralyze people.